probably I don't know whether it's the fondest memory. One of my most distinct memories was the controversy that we had over evolution, and I felt that it was very important that I make a statement on that issue.
Okay. About a few years ago now, I interviewed you about your book on Zora Neale Hurston. And I wanted to ask if you have any designs on revisiting her, either in another book or in a classroom teaching about her.
Well, I don't think I ever have left Hurston, or I don't think Hurston has ever left me. When you dedicate really the major part of your life to a writer as important as Zora Neale Hurston, I don't think that it's an intermittent kind of relationship. It's one that I think Zora Neale Hurston will always be with me, and I'll always be with Zora Neale Hurston, which means that sure we'll be reading Hurston in any class that I teach, or in most of the classes I teach, and I'll look forward to thinking more about her with the serenity that comes from not having to worry about whether or not there's asbestos abatement in the McCollum Hall.
For those who maybe aren't familiar with Zora Neale Hurston, could you maybe give a little description of
Sure.
who she is and why she's important?
Well, Zora Neale Hurston was born in 1891, died in 1960. She was clearly one of the greatest African American writers of the 20th century. I was fortunate enough to get interested in writing a biography of Hurston in the 1970s, and that led me to all kinds of adventures across the country, and it opened up a series of possibilities, for me of meeting other people that enjoyed Zora Neale Hurston and had read her novel Their Eyes Are Watching God, people like Alice Walker. So before very long, in the act of writing a biography of Zora Neale Hurston, I became really involved in Hurston's life and times, and the role of a black writer in the United States. And one thing just sort of led to another.
Okay. Now, when you leave as chancellor next spring, you'll be looking at another book maybe on intercollegiate athletics and American values.
Yeah, I've been, in my head, I've been writing a book for some time about intercollegiate athletics and American values. I think that there are unique things that get expressed in college athletics. I think there are unique things that get expressed in college athletics, and we carry away from the athletic experience a sense of the values that people in the United States hold dear. And I want to explore that a little bit and try to find out why we do that. We all love sports. We love to learn. But how do we make this tight connection between college athletics and college academics? So I think there's a lot of space there to negotiate in and think about and share ideas.
When you say American values, what do you mean with that, or
what are the values that we hold dear as a society? Obviously, democracy is a very important American value, and democracy implies a sense of fairness and I'm trying to think of how to express it. What do we think of when we think about democracy? We think about fairness. We think about doing things properly. We think about creating a society in which everyone can participate, where all the stakeholders of the society can be part of it. those are things that get expressed through athletics in a pretty significant way.
And do you have a deadline for the book?
No, that's the great advantage of doing this while you're on sabbatical is you know the only deadline is the one that you put on yourself. The person that I remember most as instilling a love of learning was my high school Shakespeare teacher, Mrs. Marion Glassy, who gets so much enjoyment out of reading Shakespeare's plays to us and with us that she made me see that there could actually be a profession where you got paid to read and write, and that seemed like a very cool thing to me.
Did you have a favorite play?
Probably Macbeth. Mrs. Glassy always loved to point out the scene in Macbeth where people were told, "Go get him, surgeons,"